One man. Unique. Unedited. Unscripted raw dog for you, the fans. Take out your notebooks. Write it down. History in the making here on Chaos Corner on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, as we roll on. Matches that defined an era, defined this business, this industry. Matches that arguably had the biggest impact on this sport, which now we call entertainment. Thanks for being here. November 24th, 1983. Harley Race versus Ric Flair at the Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. Sit back and relax. This is an important one. In response to Vince McMahon's impending threats to go national with the WWF, Jim Crockett of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling booked what would become the industry's first annual supercard, Starrcade, predating pay-per-view by 2 years. Starrcade began as a closed-circuit event broadcast throughout Crockett's territories, and to headline his big event, he chose his golden boy, Nature Boy Ric Flair, to challenge NWA World Heavyweight Champion Harley Race inside a steel cage in the region's #1 venue, the Greensboro Coliseum. With Gordon Soley and Bob Caudle calling the action, the event definitely had a weighty big match feel. And Race and Flair gave it their all to produce one of the most exciting NWA World title bouts ever presented. The culmination of a months-long angle dubbed a Flair for the Gold, in which the Nature Boy fought to regain the title he had lost to Race, despite the champion taking out a bounty on his upcoming opponent. And in the end, Flair became the first wrestler to win the NWA World Championship in a steel cage match. Write it down. That's why your notebooks are out. This is what I tell you all the time. You come here to learn things. So you're better off when you walk out than when you fucking walked in here. So you can hold a conversation during the holidays, at a family gathering, a venue, a pub, a picnic, a barbecue, a tavern, wherever the fuck it is that you hang out. Keep your notebooks out during all these segments. Again, I'm going to say it. Flair became the first wrestler to win the NWA World Championship in a steel cage match. The WWF was destined to win the eventual promotional war. Hello, McFly? Is anybody home? But it wouldn't be due to superior in-ring workers, as those belonged to Crockett. And we know the difference in the 70s and 80s and the large arenas and the more methodical wrestling and big guys and the ethnic grapplers here in the greater New England tri-state northeast area as composed to the south and the mid-south. More smaller venues, more mat technicians, made it look a little more stiff. Different styles, different areas at the time, and that's how I can break it down during the territorial days. Again, a big match. November 24th, 1983, the Greensboro Coliseum. Ric Flair and Harley Race. Two of the best that ever did it. And if they're on your Mount Rushmore, I can't argue with that. Two of the most unbelievable mat technicians in the history of this business. And this is a match that definitely, in their series and their rivalries, that definitely captured an era. So this was a short clip. Woo! Flair and Harley Race. You guys know my history. Back when Race was running his home territory and his own promotion, Missouri, World Legion, I believe it was, wrestling. I don't think it was World League. I'm pretty sure it was World Legion Wrestling. My brother, Jack Master John Diamond, went out there to train and work a couple of shows, and I talked to Harley, probably at least a half dozen times on the phone. I want to say this probably was in the mid to late 90s, maybe late 90s. I don't think the early 2000s, but we went back and forth for a while Harley was running this territory, and being able to talk to him and allowing him allowing me to talk to him and picking his brain and listening to me and trying to get me out there. I never did make it out to Missouri to work for him, but Diamond did. So I mean, that was unbelievable for parts of my journey that you can never take away, that I will remember. That's better than anything, are the road trips, hanging out in the bars and the hotel rooms, and the stories, and being able to have the conversations on the phone, whether it was with Leah Maivia or Dusty Rhodes or Harley Race, Jim Ross. The list goes on and on of people that I've been able to talk to and pick their brain. You guys also know the funny story, and I'll just throw this out there. When I was, this is probably early 90s, closer to the middle 90s, up in the Boston Garden, you know, the area up there, Kowloon's, the unbelievable restaurant in Saugus, Massachusetts, that where all the boys hung out, Kowloon's. I was doing the Independence at that time and hanging out with the New England legend, Bull Montana, from the NWA territories, especially NWA New England. You know, the Boston bad boy, Tony Rumble's uncle, more or less, Bull Montana. What a legend. What a crazy bastard. Crazy son of a bitch. Hanging out with him, and we got a chance to get into the dressing rooms at the Boston Garden. And Bull introduced me as Kevin Sullivan's tag team partner, which I was not, because I was not a wrestler. I was a pro wrestling manager who took the bumps. So we'll say maybe part-time in-ring performer. I didn't wrestle the full matches. Although I've been inside the ring during matches, took my bumps. You guys understand, old school a la Fred Blassie, Captain Lou, a la Jim Cornette, a la Bobby Heenan, that kind of manager. So just so you guys understand. So, and I had been on many shows with Kevin Sullivan, but never as tag team partners, his partners. Rest in peace, Kevin Sullivan. So we get behind the curtain. There's Flair, and there's the helicopter. I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. The Longini was there and basically had a towel on, and Bull introduced me, so I had a chance to talk to Ric Flair briefly, and yeah. Are you here for this one, Austin and Jen? Are you? The helicopter. Don't you dare miss it.